Could it be that the invisible chains that bind you, the ones that make you flinch at a casual remark or crumble under silent judgment, aren't forged by the world, but by a hidden part of yourself, patiently waiting to be seen? What if the very pain you desperately try to escape holds the secret key to an unbreakable strength, a resilience born not of numbness, but of radical self-acceptance? This isn't just about coping, it's about transcending, about unlocking a profound inner liberation. That Carl Jung, that astute cartographer of the soul, understood with startling clarity. This path, though challenging, promises to forever change how you interact with the world and, more importantly, with your own deepest self. So, are you ready to stop merely existing and truly begin to flourish? If you're ready to unlock profound personal growth and gain access to exclusive resources that will guide you in integrating these powerful concepts into your daily life, then now is the moment to click the link in the pinned comment below. There, you'll find a trove of practical exercises and deeper insights designed to empower your journey toward true emotional mastery and self-discovery. We often navigate our lives as if on a perpetually shifting emotional quicksand, believing that our discomfort, our anger, our sadness are direct consequences of external forces: a cutting word from a colleague, a perceived slight from a friend, or the sting of a missed opportunity. We meticulously construct elaborate facades, wear masks of impenetrable strength, and attempt to numb ourselves to every potential wound, convinced that this outward show of resilience will shield us from the inevitable vicissitudes of human interaction. Yet the brutal, unvarnished truth, as Jung so eloquently articulated, is that the external world possesses no inherent power to wound us, unless there exists an already festering, unacknowledged wound within our own being. What truly inflicts agony isn't what others do to us. It is what those experiences activate within us. It's the intricate narrative we unconsciously construct around an event, the subtle echo of an ancient, unaddressed personal history, or the profound void we desperately attempt to conceal with a veneer of composure. Jung illuminated this brilliantly. The agony we experience in response to the external world is merely a mirror, reflecting what remains unintegrated within our inner landscape. This is precisely why one individual might navigate truly devastating circumstances, say a significant career reversal at the age of 40, or the dissolution of a relationship after 2 decades, with an astonishing clarity and resilience, while another might crumble at the slightest critical remark, perhaps about a casual outfit choice or a minor social faux pas. It is not about the event itself. It is about where it strikes you. This perpetual striving to control external variables, to meticulously manage how others perceive us, to be good enough or resilient enough to guarantee freedom from pain, is a deceptive mirage. As long as you desperately cling to this illusion of control, you will exist in a perpetual state of tension, attempting to foresee the unforeseen, striving to avert the inevitable. Do you genuinely desire to cease suffering? Then paradoxically, you must cease protecting yourself from suffering. What you truly need isn't greater external control, but a profound expansion of your internal awareness. As long as you maintain the belief that others must alter their behavior for your pain to subside, you will remain enslaved by their actions. Your profound freedom commences the precise moment you comprehend that everything originating from the external world only gains power if it resonates with an echo within your own being. And this, unequivocally, is the true battleground, the unconscious. What you fail to perceive, fail to comprehend, and fail to master, masters you. It is here, in this deeper layer of the psyche, the authentic transformation truly begins. The most pervasive falsehood you've ever been led to believe is that you are entirely in conscious control of your life. Wake up, because you're not, at least. Not as long as you continue to navigate life on autopilot, reacting without understanding the underlying impulse, feeling without grasping its origin, and making decisions that you later inexplicably sabotage. Carl Jung articulated this with profound clarity. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that, precisely, is what is transpiring within you right now. The unexplained melancholy that settles upon you, the irritation that flares without discernible cause, the anxiety that inexplicably surges when everything appears to be in perfect order. None of this is random. These are urgent messages emanating from forgotten, ignored, or repressed facets of your own self. Jung referred to this enigmatic territory as the unconscious, and it is far more than a mere nebulous cloud of vague thoughts. It is a vibrant, active force, an intricate system of memories, unhealed traumas, suppressed desires, and deep-seated fears that you adamantly refuse to confront, yet which continue to dictate what you experience emotionally and how you behave. You might wonder why certain words completely devastate you, while others remain unaffected. It's because those words meticulously pinpoint sensitive, still active points within your being. And if they remain active, it is because you have never truly confronted them. You have merely swept them under your psychological rug, and now you continually trip over them. Jung asserted, "We cannot change anything until we accept it." Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. And what has been your consistent pattern? Judging yourself, repressing your true feelings, silencing your inner voice, as if any of this would resolve anything. The unvarnished truth is that the unconscious does not simply vanish because you choose to ignore it. It merely discovers more perilous avenues for manifestation, in destructive patterns of relationships that you repeat ad nauseum, in self-sabotaging behaviors that you seem powerless to break, in anxieties and fears that inexplicably surge when everything appears to be in perfect order. This is not some cruel twist of fate. It is your unconscious desperately striving to awaken you. But you, in turn, stubbornly insist on remaining asleep. Do you truly wish to become someone who is no longer wounded by the external world? Then, cease your relentless flight from what resides within you, because as long as you remain oblivious to your unconscious, you will remain a mere puppet of your own emotions. And paradoxically, the more vehemently you strive to shield yourself from external pain, the more acutely vulnerable you become to internal turmoil. Yet, there is a way out, and it does not involve building higher defenses. It involves deep integration. For becoming truly unshakable is not an act of resistance. It is an act of profound self-knowledge. The vast majority of people erroneously believe that the sole method to evade suffering is to withdraw entirely from the world. They meticulously construct emotional walls, elaborate masks, cultivate an emotional armor, and painstakingly pretend that nothing, absolutely nothing, affects them. They utter platitudes like, "I no longer care," or "nothing truly penetrates." Yet, beneath this carefully crafted exterior, they continue to bleed, to corrode from within. The fundamental issue has never been the act of feeling. The true dilemma lies in not understanding what you are feeling and, crucially, why. And this predicament exclusively afflicts those who have not yet truly come to know themselves. Jung was remarkably precise when he declared, "Know all the theories, master all the techniques, But when touching a human soul, be just another human soul, and that very human soul, the one you painstakingly conceal behind a facade of strength, invulnerability, and rigid control, is desperately crying out to be seen. Becoming emotionally robust has absolutely nothing to do with cultivating coldness. It has nothing to do with ignoring pain, avoiding conflict, or feigning indifference. It profoundly relates to integration, to acceptance, to bringing into the clear light of day everything you have meticulously buried in the darkness. You do not become unshakable by erecting an insurmountable barrier between yourself and the world. You become truly unshakable when you realize that absolutely no one can wound what has already been wholly embraced within your own being. When you comprehensively integrate your shadows, your deep-seated fears, your perceived flaws, your profound insecurities, cease to be a knee-jerk reactor to every external observation. You choose. You are no longer an emotional puppet dancing to the strings of external circumstances. And that, my friend, is genuine freedom. Jung termed this process individuation, the profound journey of becoming precisely who you truly are. Not what others expect of you, not what you once believed you should be to gain acceptance, but what authentically emerges from within you, from the sacred meeting of light and shadow, between your conscious ego and your vast unconscious. Individuation, Jung stated, is not a process of perfection, but of integration. You are not required to become a better person, you simply need to become whole. And here lies the profound secret that no one has ever shared with you. The more relentlessly you flee from pain, the more persistently it pursues you, the more you endeavor not to be affected, the more inherently fragile you become. But when you courageously confront your own deepest wounds, when you wholly accept who you are with all that is beautiful and all that is perceived as ugly, all that is noble and all that is deemed shameful, nothing external possesses the power to dismantle you. However, this transformative path demands immense courage, the courage to peer within, the courage to shed your painstakingly constructed masks, the courage to feel, because it is precisely within the crucible of pain that the key to your profound transformation lies concealed. From a tender age, you were painstakingly taught to despise pain. You were indoctrinated into the belief that suffering signifies weakness, that shedding tears is a fruitless endeavor, and that feeling too intensely renders you dangerously vulnerable. And so, you embarked on a relentless pursuit to run, to evade, to deny. Yet, the more desperately you flee from suffering, the more tenaciously it pursues you. And the most insidious aspect is that it transmutes its form. It disguises itself as pervasive anxiety, as explosive anger, as an inexplicable apathy, as a dull boredom, or as baffling self-destructive impulses whose origins you cannot even fathom. Unacknowledged pain doesn't simply vanish. It meticulously excavates tunnels within your psyche until one day, without a flicker of warning, everything catastrophically collapses. Jung perceived suffering in an entirely revolutionary manner. He firmly believed that pain was the very messenger of the soul, the urgent alarm of the unconscious, the profound language that the self, your true, entire being employs to command your attention. He famously said, "Depression is like a lady in black. If she appears, don't push her away. Invite her to sit down, offer her a coffee, and listen to what she has to say." But you don't listen. You silence yourself, distract yourself relentlessly, keep yourself perpetually busy, numb yourself with every available means. You do everything conceivable to avoid gazing at what truly matters. What is this pain desperately trying to reveal? To you, The undeniable truth is that suffering only inflicts such profound agony because you remain locked in an internal conflict with yourself. There still exists a vital part of you yearning for growth, while another part desperately clings to maintaining the status quo. There is an intrinsic essence within you that cries out for profound transformation, but your ego, accustomed to its iron grip of control, attempts to suffocate that primal call. And it is within this very friction that pain is born, because change is inherently painful. Growth is painful. Releasing antiquated beliefs, severing toxic connections, allowing what no longer serves your highest good to genuinely die, all of this constitutes a profound mourning, an internal process of death and subsequent rebirth. But it is precisely within this desolate space of ruin that something entirely new can miraculously emerge. Because when every aspect of your being is deconstructed, when your most cherished certainties crumble, when pain mercilessly lays bare your profound vulnerability, you can, at long last, truly perceive who you are, stripped of all layers of protection, devoid of all performance, naked without the mask. And at that precise, sacred juncture, suffering transcends its mundane definition and becomes something hallowed, for it brings you to your knees before the only entity that can truly set you free, yourself. Jung understood this profoundly. He grasped that suffering is not an inherent flaw in the system. It is an integral component of the process. Pain is not the terminus of the road. It is the genesis of the arduous journey towards individuation. The fundamental problem is that the vast majority of individuals surrender before traversing that dark, foreboding valley. They flee, they distract themselves, they retreat to the superficiality of the surface. But not you. If you have persevered this far, it is because you are unequivocally ready to cross. Few individuals possess the audacious courage to even commence the profound journey of individuation, and even fewer possess the unwavering fortitude to bring it to its completion. This path, unlike any other, offers no soothing comforts, provides no comforting guarantees, and certainly does not protect your ego. Instead, it mercilessly dismantles it. Jung described individuation as the intricate process of becoming who you truly are, but this, above all else, necessitates the painful unlearning of what you think you are. And that, in its raw intensity, wounds far more profoundly than any external rejection, because you slowly, agonizingly begin to comprehend that much of what has defined you until this moment was nothing more than an elaborate illusion. You are not your fleeting achievements. You are not your past traumas, perhaps from 25 years ago. You are not the meticulously crafted image you constructed to be loved, respected, or admired. All of this was merely a temporary scaffolding you erected to survive. But merely surviving is not truly living. And individuation is life's insistent call beyond the mere act of survival. It is the precise moment when the unconscious, with an unstoppable force, begins to propel everything that has been repressed, carefully hidden, and grotesquely distorted to the very surface of your awareness. Individuation requires the dissolution of the persona Jung meticulously penned, for it is merely a mask of collective convenience. In other words, you will be compelled to meticulously tear off your own skin to unveil the raw, authentic essence that lies beneath. It is within this transformative process that you gradually begin to become truly unshakable, not because absolutely nothing affects you anymore, but because you have already endured the crucible of fire. You have squarely confronted your deepest monsters. You have gazed directly into the eyes of your shame, your profound neediness, your surging anger, And you have, with unwavering conviction, declared, "I see you, and you no longer exert control over me." It is this profound internal clarity, this unwavering lucidity in the face of your own inherent darkness, that bestows upon you a strength that remains utterly independent of external approval, fleeting recognition, or the illusion of control. You no longer possess a desperate need to be universally loved. You no longer require victory in every single argument. You no longer feel compelled to appear perpetually strong, because you fundamentally know who you are, and absolutely no one can ever strip that away from you. True emotional armor is not a restrictive shell. It is a profound, integrated core. It is the complete assimilation of all your disparate parts into a unified center of consciousness that remains unshakable. Amidst the most tumultuous storms, you may still experience pain, but it no longer shatters you. You may still be wounded, but you no longer lose yourself in the process, because you have ceased being a reactive entity and have finally become whole. You have ceased existing on the superficial currents of life and have, instead, begun to inhabit the profound depths. However, this immense depth comes with a significant price: loneliness, not because you will be devoid of companionship, but because very few individuals possess the courage or the capacity to accompany you on this arduous journey. Most remain ensnared on the surface, trapped within their masks, consumed by the paralyzing fear of truly feeling. And when you authentically begin to liberate yourself, you inevitably create a profound distance. But this distancing is not a rejection. It is a natural, inevitable maturation. You do not distance yourself out of pride. You distance yourself because you simply no longer fit where you once painstakingly hid. And this brings us to the ultimate culmination of this profound journey: consciousness as your unwavering shield, because it is not sheer brute strength that ultimately protects you. It is profound clarity. If this video has resonated with you in some profound way, if something within your very being has been undeniably awakened, then please, I implore you, write "I choose awareness" in the comments below. Let us ignite a powerful movement of individuals who no longer wish to merely survive by pretending to be strong, but who passionately desire to live their lives with absolute truth. Just hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us continue to create more deep, thought-provoking content about psychology, relationships, and the vast inner world that shapes us all. Let's continue this journey of discovery together, building a community of conscious connection and understanding, one insight at a time.